Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Codex Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger. With me, as usual, my co-hosts, Jamie Wojcik and Tim Morse.
How's it going, guys?
Guys, we're back from an extended break that we didn't want, but we deserved. Well, at least these two got an extended break. I did.
We took a break for Thanksgiving. And one thing we're grateful for is we are grateful for all of our great fans that support us, subscribe to us on our Twitch, on our YouTube, Instagram, everything. And they ring the bell. They do the everything and comment.
They need to start ringing a little bit harder.
Yeah. But yeah, we got a great episode up ahead. Some things to cover that we didn't, get to cover last week since we weren't here. So Jamie's really excited to talk about Kevin Feige and Scarlett Johansson working together. We got a lot of Spider-Man news. We got some news for G.I. Joe, Superman, Batman Beyond, some Boom Studios news. Then obviously we got our works as usual. Big things I want to talk about. Big things we all have to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Big things.
Yeah, and then we have Do You Know? Which I need to make up. I need to win this time. I did not win 2 weeks ago. Jamie won.
That's right.
I know.
I need to change
don't say it so upsettingly though. Like it was that one win I needed this year. Like
it's the upset.
That's all I needed. I'm good with the one. I can at least say I won one. The rest of you, I don't want to talk to you guys anymore.
I don't even have a win. I got a big fat 0, so I don't even want to hear it.
There's a reason.
But yeah, we'll get to Do You Know, and we'll see who wins this time, or if there's a tie or anything like that. And our topic of the week, what comic book are we most thankful for? I'm excited to talk about that with you guys. And then we will be reviewing Edge of Venomverse, which is a book Jamie picked out for us to review a few weeks ago. Yeah. Today we'll finally review it. And that is who Tim has in the background.
That's right.
It is the cover of Edge of Venomverse.
I love that cover so much.
That is. All right, let's get started with our comic book news. Tim, I'll let you start us off with some Spider-Man news, man.
Okay, so this is not expected at all. I mean, with the hype with Tom Holland as Spider-Man, with the home movie coming up soon, No Way Home. This is just extra icing on the cake. Sony confirms that there are going to be 3 more Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland in the MCU. So my personal take on that is I think that is fantastic. Tom Holland's doing a great job as Spider-Man. I think he's loved by the majority of fans that enjoy MCU movies. So this is a no-brainer. This is something that they have obviously been working on in the background, and it just adds another piece of awesomeness to what's already going on. So after No Way Home is finished, we've got 3 more movies with Tom Holland coming in, Spider-Man movies, not just supporting character appearances either, but a whole new trilogy. So Jamie, I think you and I talked about that a little bit before, where that opens up villains like Kraven or the Vulture coming back in with Michael Keaton, because I mean we see him in Morbius, or even bringing Scorpion into the forefront or things like that. I mean the possibilities are endless. So this is something I'm super excited about. Sonny, how do you feel about it?
Well, I'm excited. One villain I'm surprised you didn't bring up a couple of weeks ago. You mentioned the Chameleon. Would be nice to see. Yeah, but yeah, it is great to have another trilogy with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. It seemed like for a while we would get some movies, and then now they're starting the series over. Now they're starting it over, and now it's good that we have our Spider-Man. Tom Holland's playing him. I do think he does a great job, and we're continuing the story. We can, see certain villains again, bring out more new ones as opposed to constantly going back. So I'm really excited for it. I think it is a smart move, and especially after No Way Home comes out on December 17th.
16 days.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be really excited for it, and then it's only gonna push the hype for the other movies even more. But I wonder though, how many titles can they do with Home? Because they always Far From Home, This Way Home.
It might be like like that was the end of that trilogy, and then they're gonna be like next is gonna be Apartment. Because he has to
next apartment.
Yeah. He's like, I'll give you rent when you fix the door. Like that kind of...
Yes, they need Bully McGuire back. Yes, Bully McGuire back.
Bully Holland. That's what we want.
He's got dance.
He's gonna teach his ways to Holland, and then Holland's going to take those and contribute it to the next saga of the Spider-Man series.
The no care attitude, milk and cookies, and fixing the door.
Just doing enough.
That's right. That's how I learned how to dance.
We know.
Guys, I think when we leave the theater after seeing the new Spider-Man, we all have to do that dance.
Oh, I am. I do.
My kids
I do it
run
going
away.
outside. Like, I have no problems with that. But yeah,
I have not been to a theater in, it's going to be 2 years.
oh yeah,
But I'm going to see Spider-Man, though. That one I'm going to make sure to see.
yeah. He's going to see Spider-Man in 2 more years. He's still
This I'm
catching.
seeing soon.
He's still catching up on movies. He hasn't even
This
seen
one
Homecoming
jumps
yet.
the list.
No.
I've actually seen like all the Spider movies at the theater, so this one I'll make it there again.
You got to
I'll
make
be
it
there.
that way. No, but yeah, those just hearing like 3 more movies from Spider-Man is great. I believe it make him the longest running Spider-Man, to do it. As you said, Tim, like you're not even counting in like the side character appearances, like him jumping in with like a group, maybe the Avengers, maybe he's part of a Champions, maybe he's running the Avengers. We don't know.
That's even something that's been going around is maybe him coming into like the Young Avengers or something like that. And I
because
think that's
they're
a great
squaring up for
possibility.
that for the Young Avengers team.
Oh
And
yeah.
also, they're getting ready for the Avengers now that all the main characters are almost gone from the original. So yeah, 3 more movies. It's endless possibilities of who they can use. It's gonna be. I have my ideas of who I would like to see. I would love to see a Last Hunt. I 100% would, especially in that. Have Chameleon be a part of it too, like a setup. Yeah, and then if you're gonna have Venom, quotes everybody. Don't know if you're gonna have Venom somehow jump in. How can you not do something with him in there?
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Now that you just signed on for 3 more, I could tell you like in the next year or 2, it's gonna be Venom versus Spider-Man. Like that's it.
Oh yeah.
It'd be awesome.
See, and that's
will be
what
awesome.
everybody's waiting for is Venom versus Spider-Man. That's what people have been screaming to see.
I'm gonna make a prediction now. I don't know if it'd be right, but hey, I'll put it out there now. I think one character that is very unknown and very underrated that I think will make their first movie appearance, a character that will appear in one of these new Spider-Man movies, the new 3, will be Night Thrasher.
Ooh, yeah, no, I
think he's gonna appear.
I feel like he'll have a supporting role somehow.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day too. Like we haven't really seen much of him or heard much of him, so this would be a perfect opportunity to have him.
Night Thrasher is a character I have not seen or heard from in a long time.
Yeah, so that's my a bold prediction that Night Thrasher will appear
SK's
in
bold
one of these
prediction of the week.
Spider-Man movies. Yeah. Yeah. And
Good
one
old bold
character
prediction.
that we might see, you never know in one of these movies because it's 3 and it's gonna be years down the road, is maybe we'll even see the Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Ah, very
And
true.
they made it sure his uncle Aaron was in Homecoming.
Mhm.
So I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Endless,
People would love that, yeah.
because even he says he's like, man, I got a nephew out here, and then there you
And
go.
then
There's
that's
your
it, he
entrance. That's
gets-
all you need is put
Yeah.
that key right in the ignition.
Yeah.
So maybe we will see Miles Morales in a Spider-Man live action movie, but we'll be seeing Miles Morales in a what if series of his own. People were something that's had people talking is they first saw a picture online of a black Captain America and of a black Wolverine, but it has been talked about that it will be a series, a what if series where what if Miles Morales was Captain America? What if Miles Morales was Wolverine? So this has a lot of people talking on, and it comes out in March 2022. Other characters that he's set to be is, what if Miles Morales was the Incredible Hulk, and what if Miles Morales was Thor?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what are you guys thinking about it?
Well, in my opinion on this one, because the what if series is now, it's not really labeled a what if series like we've seen with Spider's Shadow that came out. Like what if it's basically what if Peter Parker kept the symbiote suit just a little bit longer than he needed to. I see this being more of just like a multiversal type thing where it's just each one is like an idea of what they would think Miles Morales would be in this situation. And like the Spider Shadow, which Chip Zdarsky did an amazing job on, I might add. I think it'll be 5 issues and be amazing. Like I think that something's gonna tie out of there. if he's Wolverine and they love the fact that he's Wolverine, you know you're gonna get a solo series out of that somehow. They've done it before.
Yeah, like you said, we've seen a lot of what ifs have become, comic books themselves.
Yeah. And they've done staggeringly well. So I don't see no difference in this. I think they're trying to see what would stick because of the Gwenpool surfacing and how well that she did on there. And they're just gonna be like, hey, let's do the same thing with Miles Morales, see if we can add a little bit more to him. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, okay. I think it's a good idea. I think it's going to sell very well, but this is something that I'm not going to rush out to put in my pull box or check out. I'll wait for trades or for it to come on Marvel Unlimited. It's just not something that I'm super excited about. With a character like Miles Morales, what if he became Wolverine? That just doesn't make any sense to me. That just seems like it's trying to sell books.
Perfect sense.
I don't think so, because him as a character that doesn't fit at all with what Wolverine is. But I mean, I could be proven wrong. Miles Morales is Captain America. That's intriguing. That's something that I'll check out maybe. But any of the other stuff, it's just not something that I'm going to pay $3.99 to read. I'll wait till it comes out 6 months later on Unlimited. Sonny, how do you feel?
I wanted, like I said, it's a smart thing to sell. You know, it'll sell. Like we say, he's a very popular character, and just to see him as those characters will sell. But it really depends on the writing. Like, they could make it very interesting. Like I said, like Wolverine does make you think, like, how could he be that? But you never. That could be like a crazy one that turns out to be the best issue.
Yeah,
we don't know. I mean, it's an interesting concept. I mean, I'm not like, it's not the most comic I'm excited for, but it could be interesting. I like what ifs, but I think now even too, there's so many like other worlds and things like that. So we see so many kinds of what ifs and things like that. So it's not too crazy that we're seeing this. It's not too surprising.
Well, I got a what if for you guys. And what if this series comes out around the same time that the teaser trailer finally comes out for Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse 2, which is also Miles Morales. So this could tie in perfectly to why they're doing this. They're trying to probably get some more marketing, get some more clout for, the movie coming out, when it actually is going to premiere. It'll probably have that big old sticker on there. Like, this is the date after the teaser trailer drops.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are lined up to get a teaser trailer here soon for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2. I cannot wait to see this. I want to see exactly what happened. I love the first one, guys. Like, absolutely. Like that. I always said that DC has one thing over Marvel. Well, actually everything. The only thing they don't have is the movies, the live action movies, but everything else they have over them, to me. But the animated series, I never thought that Marvel would pull something out of their hat where it's like, this is better than anything I've seen. And Into the Spider-Verse was better than anything I've seen. And I hope 2 keeps that train going. To me, like doing the research, I haven't found anything about who's going to be returning characters. Like if they're going to have like Spider-Ham or.
Oh, I'm sure Gwen Stacy will be back.
But I feel like Gwen Stacy will be back. I'm sure Peter B. Parker is going to be in there. And then I'm sure I would love Spider-Man Noir to be back because that means Nicolas Cage is getting paid and that man deserves some money.
He's going to be Dracula in the movie.
Yeah. I seen that.
Dracula, yeah.
But no, I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, like, I love the first one. I don't know how you guys are perceiving this or if you guys are as excited,
Sonny, you go ahead and take that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited. Like I said, I really liked the first movie. I thought it was really good. And like, yes, it's animated, but I was still like really enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man 2099 will be in there.
Yeah, because the end credit, I forgot about that. That's even better.
So I'm excited for that too. I'm excited to see Spider-Man 2099.
And he's being played by Oscar Isaac. So we're getting Moon Knight and Spider-Man 2099 out of him.
This should have been me.
Hey.
One day I'll be more popular.
We seen the Roman Reigns stop action. We don't need that in
Let me know what the character is, then I will know the part to put on there.
You're
well,
like, hey,
you're
gonna walk up. Hey, Mr. Spider-Man.
I'll take that part again.
Yeah,
if that was open, I would take it.
Yeah,
it's like random guy who walks by and starts to say a word and gets hit in the face before they can finish one word. I'll take it. But I'm really excited for it. I'm sure it's going to be great as well because the first one was really good. So, Tim, what do you think about it?
Where I am not super excited about the Miles Morales What If series, I am very excited about Spider-Verse 2. The first
until he sees it.
Then I'll be beyond excited. The first one was phenomenal. I did not have super high hopes going into the first one, but I was pleasantly surprised and blown away. And it's, I think, one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made. And that's a big bar to live up to, especially with the sequel coming out. But I have high hopes. I think it's going to be really good. My kids are going to be super excited to see it. We're going to go see it in theaters whenever it comes out. And Spider-Man 2099 is the big one that I'm hoping for. I don't think that's been officially confirmed yet, but like you said, Jamie, you know, Gwen Stacy will most likely come back. We'll see him. We'll probably see Peter Porker, the spectacular Spider-Ham, in there in some way, shape, or form. And Peter Parker, I'm sure. And then, you know, it's going to be awesome. This is a movie that people want to see, and I want to see it. I'm ready for it.
Right. And, you know, I don't know, Tim, but speaking of things that we want to see and secrets, I heard there's something coming out that I'm not too happy about.
So, okay.
Secret,
Right. So with the whole public display of no-nos with Walt Disney and Scarlett Johansson, and they're settling out of court because they were wrong. Scarlett Johansson and Kevin Feige have announced that ScarJo is going to be coming on for a secret project with Marvel. However, she is not going to be playing the Black Widow. She's not going to have an acting role at all, as far as I'm aware, and it's just a producer role that she's coming in to do. So speculation here that leads me to believe that it'll have something to do with characters from the Black Widow movie moving forward. That's what I think. I don't think there's much more beyond that, but Disney would be out of their minds to lose Scarlett Johansson. She's a major draw. Black Widow proves that. It was a fantastic movie and people loved her in the role. Yeah. People loved her in the role of Black Widow as a supporting character. And when she did her own movie, I thought it was fantastic. One of the best of the summer. So I'm very curious to see what project she's going to do to have a producer credit on for Marvel. Jamie, what do you think?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything you just said, I hated. But with her, I got so sick and tired of hearing her. I didn't even watch Black Widow until like, what was it, a week or two ago, when I finally was like, all right, I'll do this. I thought it was all right. I didn't think it was like, you know, the whole blow your socks off and, you know, oh my god, this is the next best thing. Because
Taskmaster was the best part about that movie.
Yes, it was. But
we needed to know why Scarlett Johansson's hair was blonde. So now we know the question.
Exactly.
Yeah, the only reason. I watched 2 hours to figure out why she dyed her hair, and the box was at the beginning, and that was it. And I was like, "You gonna do it or no? Okay, we're gonna wait to the end for this." But no, with her, I would love, and I'm gonna say this right now, if they do an A-Force movie, she would be perfect for it. Because they kind of lined that up in Endgame, where we had Gamora, Captain Marvel, Wasp, all of them. They could do something where they push all the leading women in and do some type of like team movie. I would love for her to produce it. I think she would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
You know, and not just keep it towards like, okay, well, because she was Black Widow, we're gonna do something with the Red Room, and there's gonna be a Red Room movie or a Red Room TV series. I would love for her to be part of a group again and have that aspect. Sonny, ideas?
Yeah, I like your idea. That's a good one. But yeah, like I said, she'll be producing. So you guys pretty much went over everything. But yeah, I did like the Black Widow movie. I don't think it was the best Marvel movie I've seen, but I still thought it was a good movie, a good watch. Mm-hmm. And yeah,
it was a low
I wonder
F
how
for
she'll
me.
produce. No, not definitely. I definitely rate it higher than that.
F++.
Yeah, like I said, I wonder what she'll produce. I think it will be something to do with Marvel, and maybe too, like we said, Black Widow's sister. Maybe she'll have a series, or maybe she'll be in somebody else's series. But
yeah,
if she has a series, I could see Scarlett Johansson producing that.
I hope that the movie she produces is all about the Red Guardian. That would be the greatest Marvel movie ever made.
Yeah, it's called Stranger Things.
Yeah, we'll we'll see.
If you haven't had a chance, go check it out. It's already on like season 4.
Oh my god, season 4 hasn't even come out yet.
Ready.
Yeah.
Ready
He's in Russia. It's the same thing.
That's very true.
What if he pops out in the suit and is like 11?
The internet would break. World economies would collapse because all the Red Guardian merchandise would be bought out. And
that would be canceled.
I did like him.
That would be canceled in a heartbeat. Speaking of cancellation, Sonny, I heard there's another thing being canceled that we need to know about.
Yes, Luke Cage, City of Fire, the miniseries that was said to have 3 issues, has been canceled 1 month before it was scheduled to come out. It was supposed to come out December 29th, and on November 15th, the whole miniseries was canceled. The writer, Hochi Anderson, said that everything was set. They had the covers. He loved the writing. Everybody was in on it, and a month before, it didn't go through. A lot of people were wondering why. Like, why would you let something get so far? And my opinion is because they were saying that it has to do, obviously Luke Cage, he more protects the streets. He's more like a street hero, what they'd say. But a lot of it has to do, they were saying, with like bad cops, with like crooked cops. So I'm guessing they took it off because they know that that's going to be very controversial.
So it's like every book from the 90s.
The Punisher.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, we've seen stuff like that. We've seen characters take down dirty cops before, so I really wonder why this one was canceled. I was very surprised about it too.
Well, I think there's a lot of things that go into that. Sorry, Tim. If I can take this one real fast. There's a lot of things that go into that because there was another series before. It was a mini series, and this is around the time Black Panther was just released. It was I believe it was like called The Land of Wakanda or Wakanda Forever or something around those terms. But it was based around the women of Wakanda, and literally it was put out. It was in the solicitations just like this was. I put it on my pull list just like I did this one, and it got canceled 2 weeks before it was supposed to come out. And the reason they said it was canceled is because they couldn't get enough pre-orders for it. So if people aren't interested in pre-ordering it, you really think people are going to be interested in buying it off the shelf? And also you got to think about the comic shop. If you only have 2 pre-orders of 1 issue, are you really going to try to stock 10 to 15 more issues on your shelf because 2 people bought it or are trying to buy it?
Well, that makes sense. I mean, if you think about it, like we were just saying with the dirty cops and things like that, that's nothing new. Punisher storylines, Circle of Blood, I mean, they're in there. And any other crime fighting book for street level heroes. But like you just said, Jamie, if the pre-orders just aren't there, Marvel's a company, they're a business, they want to make money, they want books to sell. And if people just aren't interested in it, then it makes sense to pull it. But to not give any information on why they pulled it, that's when people start to speculate. That's when people start to go off into Wonderland and figure it out for themselves and then come to that conclusion. Right. With canceling that soon before the issue releases, you and I and Sonny, I mean, they work on these comics months in advance. So the books had to have been finished or mostly finished, at least the first issue or 2 had to have been finished before the cancellation came through. So,
maybe we'll see it on Marvel Unlimited somewhere,
possibly.
They could do a digital download, and that'd be the smartest thing to do now. Like, since if you ever need to come back to something now, if Luke Cage ever pops back up into a Marvel scenario, and he's played by somebody else, or where you get the same guy and he's in the MCU, you could use that as your back burner book and throw that out on Unlimited, or you could potentially try to rerun it.
Yeah, good thing.
So,
well, speaking of new series and things like that, and Luke Cage his show was on Netflix. Let's go to Netflix, and Jamie, tell us about the new show they're getting.
Oh, boys, we're getting a special indie book brought to life. We talked about Oblivion Song before. This one is even better, and I think it's gonna knock everybody's socks off. And I'm using that term loosely because socks are pretty comfy on your feet. But we are getting Nocterra, and this is written by. I was about to say Zach. I don't want to keep doing that. I always want to do that every time I think about Snyder. But Scott Snyder, he's written things such as like Batman, a long time on the Batman run. He's done Swamp Thing. He's done Undiscovered Country, which is another indie book, but Nocterra, guys, let me just read you the synopsis because it's so brief. All right. It goes 10 years after the world is plunged into everlasting night that turns all living creatures into mysterious shades. The only way to survive is to stay close to the artificial light.
Ooh.
I have the first 7 issues that came out for it. I've read them, and this is something that's going to be a jump scare after jump scare. Like, I feel like this is one of those, this is perfect for Netflix. And I love it. I love the writing. Tony Daniel, who's been on, Batman as well. He's still on Batman. I have a signature over here. But I think this is a knockout of the park. And hey, Netflix, kudos to you guys for picking up these properties, guys. Like, I know you don't care. We're a small little business we run in here in podcasting, but kudos. Like, they're bringing in so much. I want to know who's playing the character, like the main characters. Like, that's going to be the biggest part for me. So, I mean, guys, what do you think? Like, another indie book getting a push like this, like, and it's only 7 issues in.
I do like to see that. I like to see that it's not just the big 2, that it's, you're also seeing indie comic books getting made. And because sometimes, everything, a lot of good storytelling is also through comics. Even a lot of people don't realize that. Like, even let's say The Walking Dead, it's such a popular show that was a graphic novel first. So people, a lot of times they underestimate comics, think it's only about superheroes, but there are so many different storylines in comic books. And it's nice to see another one getting a series, or what? It is a series, right?
It's going to be a series.
Going to be a series. Okay, cool. And I can see, just hearing the synopsis, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like it can be more of a horror suspense kind of thing. What about you, Tim?
I don't know much about this aside from Snyder being on it. So this is something that I'm curious to check out. I'll obviously read the books before the series on Netflix comes out. But I with stuff like this, with the big superhero stuff, I know a lot about that. But with the indie stuff, especially something like this, I would rather go into it cold than go into it knowing what happened in any comic books before that, because then I'm the target audience there, and then I can see what they're trying to get across. And then if I like the show, I can go back and I can read the books and treat it as apples
and then see how differently they are.
Exactly. That was the same thing with Ready Player One for me. I saw the movie first before I read the book. 2 totally different things. Right. So I hope that it's the same way with this.
Well, my only downfall in this is we were only 7 issues in, and they took a break, which a lot of indie books, they take breaks after a certain amount of issues, come back to it maybe 6 months to a year. Maybe they finish a story arc, it takes 6 months, maybe it takes a year, then they come back to the next story arc. Well, I feel like since this is only 7 issues in and they got a Netflix deal on it, how much are you going to use from the book itself? How much are you going to take away from there? Or is it going to be like a Game of Thrones thing where the ending isn't even written yet and you put out an ending?
See, that makes sense.
You see what I'm saying? Like, at least with Oblivion Song, because I'm obviously reading both. Oblivion Song's on like issue 36, I believe. 36. Yeah, 36. So you have some room to work with the arcs. You have some time frame, whether they're going to finish it within the next 4 issues or next 4D. You still have time to play with it. It's going to take time to finish seasons. It's going to take years. So you can at least add 12 books, more books to the year. Where in this case, you have 7 right now. Where do you go if you start soon?
Yeah, it seems like they're just going to kind of take it like the beginning off of Nocterra, and then they're just going to go their whole separate way. So the comics will be one way, the show this
and
way.
Just like Walking Dead did near like the middle, they still have references to some things, but it's not the same book.
Well, see, Walking Dead made it very apparent in the beginning before the show even came out. They were going to use the comic books as a starting point, as a foundation, and take pieces and put it with different characters in the show, which worked the first couple of seasons, but then they just kind of strayed way. I hope that doesn't happen with this.
Well, in those cases, sometimes you use licensing for people. And this is my perfect segue into talking to you, Tim. Speaking of losing licensing, I heard there's a big acquisition coming up.
So the big thing is like IDW is a pretty popular comic book company. If you haven't read any of their stuff, go check it out, because they got a lot of good things. Like Transformers and Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe. But G.I. Joe is being taken back. Hasbro's taking G.I. Joe back from IDW. Where it's going to go from there, nobody knows. But the thing is that like Transformers, I think, has already made its way out, or is going to be making its way out. G.I. Joe is the next to go. And then after that, the most concerning thing is the My Little Pony title will be pulled also. If Transformers
what is Sonny gonna read on Saturdays?
But the thing is IDW's not saying any information, or if they are saying information, it's not a whole lot. But the big thing is somewhere around the summertime will be the last issues for G.I. Joe. My personal opinion, I hope Marvel does not get it. Their plate is overflowing with properties, theirs and what they pulled in from Fox.
Oh, cool. Did you guys yeah, I was about to say, did you guys have fun reading the aliens that I never got marketing for or saw for promoting? And speaking of, before we get into this, Sonny, I am so sorry about My Little Pony. I hope the best for them. I know you're about to cry right now. I don't even
know if I can continue.
We might as well call the show. It's done. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.
But well, it's just me. But no,
I'll continue on. I'll soldier through for G.I. Joe.
You act like it's your show anyway. You're like a one-man show. Why don't you just keep going, Tim? I'm going to critique the entire thing.
With G.I. Joe, I don't think, I mean, aside from the core audience for the comic books, and they went back to the original numbering, I don't think that there's much of a buzz with them as far as what's been going on in IDW. Now, with Transformers, when they were doing their stuff, the artwork was fantastic, the writing was fantastic, and there was a lot of buzz behind it. And you could even take that with Boom Studios with Power Rangers, with what they're doing there right now. Right. But the same cannot be said for G.I. Joe. You know, and Snake Eyes, the movie, didn't do very well. I haven't seen.
Oh yeah, that came out, didn't it?
It did. See, yep. And they marketed it as an origins movie, but people thought it was a continuation, and that ties into comic book sales too. Because I mean, where do we know Snake Eyes from aside from the cartoons? We know them from the comic books, and the Marvel run is some of the greatest stuff G.I. Joe's ever put out as far as comics go.
Is that like the dice thing, the Snake Eyes, or is that? Are we talking about games?
No,
I haven't seen.
We're talking about the ninja lawnmower that goes around the city and fights.
Like the Ninja Blender? I have one of those.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
The immortal egg and the ostrich and the sad clown. But
damn immortal egg.
I'm very curious to see where Hasbro is going to put these properties next, because there's not many comic companies left to choose from.
They're all going to go to Boom.
There you go.
Yeah. Hopefully, so we could start doing some Joe reviews and maybe get some issues before everybody.
You know, speaking of big booms, though, you know who really packs a big punch? Superman.
You know who else does? I was gonna say He-Man, but I mean, you know what?
Just
doing so good.
Just like you said, the first episode that you seen, it's so bad, and everyone's like, "Oh, look at Sonny's review."
I didn't see it. I didn't see the first one. I was only saying what I heard.
Oh, okay. So we're just going off of hearsay. So in that case, you know, Topher Grace is gonna be Venom again.
Maybe. But so that before I get into Superman, that Masters of the Universe Revelation 2, it just was talked about today that it came out, and
we did chat about that previously.
There was a little chat about it, and that nobody's really liking it. And then again, it was more focused on Evil Lynn, that saying that they've done the bait, or was it bait and switch for the second time. Before I go on to Superman, any thoughts on that?
Oh,
He-Man? No, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't even seen the first part.
I got a thought. Episode. I got a thought on it. My thought is stop bashing things that you guys don't understand. First off, secondly, it's Kevin Smith.
Right.
You either love it or you're gonna
get special treatment.
You either love it or you're gonna hate it. There's no everything that I've like. Tim's said great things about things that I hate, and I've said great things about or bad things about stuff Sonny loves. Like, you're never gonna get everybody's good side, and that's what I love about our like culture, is the fact that everyone's opinionated, but none of these opinions are hurting anybody.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like the Kevin Smith show, good. Don't watch it. I don't.
I have heard some people say that it has ruined their childhood. How did it ruin your childhood? Because you watched the show when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And this is a continuation.
And you know what the best part
show.
is? We're advancing as a society. We're not primates. We're not anything. We've evolved. There's a thing called DVD and Blu-ray that you can go on Amazon.com or go on your phone and order the original He-Man and just watch those so your childhood's intact. No. Don't be stupid and it ruined my childhood. You know what else ruined my childhood? My childhood. So can we move on? Like it's an opinion.
Jamie, you're starting to sound like me.
No, I'm not. Hanging out a lot. No, I'm not starting to sound like you. What I'm starting to sound like is the truth. You just spit lies.
I see. Okay, because
just like Sonny's
Jared
great.
Leto's Joker was okay, and the Moon Knight run is horrible.
See, these are opinions that hurt people. This is what I was talking about.
You just said they don't hurt people.
Yeah, but these are ones that do.
Except
so you can't have them. No, you're not allowed to have them. Right. If I gotta cry myself to sleep at night, it hurts me.
I'll put it in the bucket
I do that a lot. I know which one you got.
Well, speaking of opinions, John Krasinski, most known as being Jim Halpert from The Office, is going to play Superman, not in a live action movie, but in the new movie. Man, I forget the name of it. Super Pets. There we go. On Super Pets, John Krasinski will be voicing Superman. And obviously, we know the movie will be focusing on crypto, and that was set to come out May 20th, 2022. I think it's pretty interesting. I wonder how he'll do being Superman because, he's one of those characters I'll always kind of refer him back to, The Office. I wonder if I could watch it when I see him as Superman, or when I see, the cartoon Superman, if I'll just keep imagining Jim from The Office, or if I'll just be like, hey, sounds like Superman. But either way, it should be interesting. Should be good. What are you guys thinking about Super Pets?
I've seen the trailers. It looks good. It's something I'm going to take my kids to see. I don't see The Rock as crypto, but
and Kevin Hart's somebody. I can't remember who.
Yeah, he's
that's Sonny's favorite, by the way.
Invulnerable.
I don't have a problem with him.
Sonny's favorite. No, he's in every movie. I remember you going off one day. You're like, he's in every movie and he's not good.
No, it wasn't
Central
me.
Intelligence.
That wasn't me,
Jamie. Kevin Hart ever did.
But you're talking to somebody else.
But no, it looks good. I'm going to take my kids
out there.
to go see
just
it.
Like the Ethan Hawke thing.
Yeah. Jamie, what do you think about it?
What I think about it is Sonny absolutely hates Kevin Hart and we were going to promote it. No, I love doing that because you guys always do the Jared Leto thing to me. Speaking of which, side tangent, Spotify decided to put 30 Seconds to Mars on. I have now unsubscribed to Spotify, so we will only be on Apple Podcasts.
Ooh, I think we're going to have to put some 30 Seconds to Mars on in our background from now on.
That'd be amazing. We'll watch the videos.
They'll let it go because they suck so bad that they won't trademark them. So my thought process on this is I don't like thought of The Rock being crypto. It doesn't, like, even the trailer didn't make me want to see it. I do like the fact of John Krasinski being Superman. And Sonny, to what you said about, am I gonna think of him being, Jim Halpert from The Office? Every time I see him in a movie, he's Jim Halpert from The Office. Like I even point at what's his name, the Asian one, the dude who was in WandaVision. That one. The one that was in WandaVision and Ant-Man.
Yeah. The FBI agent.
Yeah, he played like Jim Halpert in like the one episode where they were like trying to mess with Dwight. I see him, I'm like, oh, it's Jim Halpert.
Yeah.
So
best prank on there.
Best prank ever. But no, that honestly, like every time I see him, it's Jim Halpert. But other than that, like I think the rest of the cast is well rounded. I don't like Kevin Hart in this as Ace. And it wasn't even established that he was Ace.
He's not Ace. He's something different.
No, his name, they call him Ace in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do call him Ace at one point.
But I don't believe he's Batman's, though.
Not yet, because he was in the shelter. So if he is, I don't want it. Go back to Secret Life.
Sounds like you're the one who doesn't like Kevin Hart.
No, actually, I enjoy him thoroughly. I'm just throwing it out there. He's very funny in his stand-ups, which, yeah, whatever. So yeah, that's my opinion. I do like I like the premise of having a super pets or like a Legion of Superheroes type pet thing. Like, it'd be cool. But as far as the casting, it's just weird to me.
I can see that.
Maybe it's more that they just got people like who were big name celebrities as opposed to who fits the characters best.
Yeah, I feel like they used like the stardom and was like, okay, who can we rank on A here? Obviously The Rock. So let's get The Rock against Crypto, and then we just keep going down the list. So, oh, speaking of being Superman and everything, did you know? This is not part of Do You Know? But did you know? I'm gonna change the wording that John Krasinski actually was gonna be Captain America at one point.
I know he was in the running, but
he said he was gonna do it, and literally saw, I guess, Chris Hemsworth walk past him and how big he was, and he was like, "No, I'm good." Like, there's literally an interview about it, and I laughed about it. I was like, oh, okay. But no, I side tangent. Sorry, guys. I just thought of that. I was like, because that'd be me the whole time watching Captain America going, that's Jim Halpert. That ain't Captain America.
It actually would have been a good Do You Know?
Right.
But a good thing for us to know. Interesting.
But yeah, other than that, leading from Superman, is kind of part of Batman. Sean Murphy actually came out and posted that a new White Knight series is going to be coming out. This would be the fourth White Knight is in the installment of the White Knight series that we have. And from his photos that he put out leaked for himself, kind of reminds me of, Ryan Reynolds. One of them has Batman Beyond, or at least the suit. And I am overly excited for this. Like, if we get Batman Beyond in the White Knight verse, it's just gonna, he already built this whole universe and made it great. How can we make it better? Bring in Batman Beyond. And I think that's the greatest idea I've seen. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I know you guys have read the book. I know you guys have at least the first one. What's your guys' idea like going in?
I think it's gonna be super exciting. Like I said, hey, Batman Beyond. As soon as you sent me a thing, as soon as I saw the picture, I got excited. And yeah, I wonder. So now is it gonna be like a time travel thing possibly? Batman Beyond gets sent back, but I'm thinking more, like you said, how Sean Murphy's made this whole world, and I'm thinking it's going to be like the Joker and Batman. Everyone's starting to age, and then now we get Batman Beyond. We see everybody else older, so I think it's going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be a really good one. I'm excited for it. That's one I'll definitely make sure to get. What about you, Tim?
Well, with White Knight, with Sean Murphy, his basic love letter to the Burton films and the animated series, it makes sense that Batman Beyond's making his way into his portion of the Bat universe. So I'm excited for it. I'm not a super Batman Beyond fan, but I know who the character is. I love the character. I enjoyed the show when I was a kid, and it'll be cool to see what Sean Murphy does with it, because what he did with White Knight really flipped things on its side for me, and I really enjoyed that. I mean, we've got the Decoding Panels episodes with each issue that you guys can go check out. So this is definitely something that I'll be reading. I thought White Knight was one of the best modern day Batman stories I'd ever read. So if Sean can continue to hit it out of the park, then this is definitely something that I'll be checking out.
Yeah, I mean,
any last minute things, Jamie, about it?
I like I said, I just think that from everything he's told so far, he might as well just be. No one should be writing Batman for a while. Like, James Tynion should just step back and be like, all right, after this arc's over, we're done for a bit. Sean, take the reins. You are now Batman. Because that's exactly how I feel about it.
Just let the White Knight universe go for a little while.
Exactly. Just let that tamper away until you can bring everything back into continuity.
Yeah. That takes it for our regular news, but we have some Boom Studios news.
I love it when you do it like that.
Yeah, do it.
I kind of flinch.
Tim, would you like to start us off with the killer news we got?
Speaking of killer news, I found out a little bit more about this that I was unaware of doing research for the show. So with the Boom news that we have, The Killer Affairs of the State is a new series that's coming out relatively soon. It's going to be a 6-issue miniseries, and it has to do with the larger portion of the Killer universe that is another series that is already out on Boom. I think it was a mini series that they did. However, with that being said, the original story for the killer, the nameless person in the stories that everybody loves and enjoys, it's going to be coming out as a movie on Netflix in 2022. So that makes sense that the Killer Affairs of the State is coming out now to get people even more interested in watching what's going to be coming out on Netflix. I'm excited for it. I want to go back and read the older stuff, kind of like with the Snyder show that's coming out on Netflix with this. I mean, the Killer Affairs of the State coming out here. I want to go check it out. But this one I'm a little more conflicted on whether I want to go in cold or if I want to catch up on what's going on and get myself familiar with the character. Beyond that, I'm excited about it. I want to check it out. I'll be looking forward to it.
I was gonna say, if I could take this one real fast, Sonny.
Yep.
I will say this, if anything, because I kind of read a couple of like issues in, definitely read it first. Definitely
read first. Okay.
Read first. As much as I edit, every time I edit, I have time in between edits, and now I'm reading so much from Boom that my eyes hurt. And like, it's not a good thing, but it's an amazing thing. So if that makes any sense, Boom, you are ruining my life in a good way.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be really good. Again, like, okay, so I'll make sure to check it out. I was wondering the same thing too. Kind of like you, Tim, like, hey, should I just jump right into it like I did with Eat the Rich? But I think, okay, Jamie, I'll take your word and say, okay, maybe I should start from the beginning. And like I said, yeah, I didn't realize that it's going to be on Netflix. So that could be
I learned that today when I was doing some extra research for it. I saw on there because on the press release that we got, it said, be sure to read the Eisner Award winning miniseries that will be turned into a Netflix movie on 2022. I was like, what? Wait a minute. Let me look at that. so
hopefully we don't have to wait too long.
Right.
See, I'm excited. I want to watch it.
I would assume late spring, early summer is when it's going to come out.
And when speaking of age and how much time's passing, Sonny, I know you got it going for us this week.
Yeah. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is now 50 years old. So now she will be 50 years old in the Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer series coming up. And yeah, we got some images of that. And even I was seeing in some of our comic groups that we join on Facebook and everything, they were even talking about it too. A lot of people are really excited to see Buffy. She's 50. She's got gray hair now. And for the images, it almost looks like almost kind of apocalyptic to me. What do you guys think? It seems almost like the vampires are pretty much it almost looks like they're taking over, and she's kind of like on her own, like fighting against them all. I think it could be a really interesting comic book. Like, we know obviously Buffy the Vampire Slayer, she's been a very popular character. She had her show back like the late 90s and everything, and then now this comic does look really interesting. And if it does really good, I mean, we'll see. I wonder if they'll bring the series back or anything, because so many shows that are years old, they're coming back. And I think if this comic series is successful, I think they might even bring it back as a series.
I am down for it. I mean, Old Man Logan, Old Lady Harley. Now we have Old Lady Buffy. It's going to be good. I mean, a post-apocalyptic or current apocalyptic setting with an old Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think this will be an amazing read. This is something that I want to check out. And I think when we got the press release for this too, and that was in the list of books, I was like, that looks cool. That's something I want to read. I was always a big Buffy fan. Watched the show when it was out on TV and things like that. So this is a no-brainer for me. I'm going to definitely dive into it.
Yeah, it looks great. Anything that's post-apocalyptic with a certain character is always drawn well with reception. As you said, like Old Man Logan, we had Old Man Hawkeye, we had Old Man Star-Lord, we had every old lady Harley, which was hilarious in its own right. Still smacking people with mallets. But yeah, Buffy was one of those iconic shows, and they had so many shows. Well, what was it? 2 shows that spun off Buffy? It was Angel and something else.
Angel.
Yeah.
I think there's another one, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I mean, the entire 8th season for Buffy was done in comic book form too.
Yeah.
So, and that was immensely popular when it was with Dark Horse.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't see this having any problem selling whatsoever. You have still fans out there that are drawn in and rewatch that series beginning to end. So this won't be a miss at all. I don't think so.
Like I said, they have certain fans are diehard fans of the show, so they definitely want to jump on this when it comes out. And Jamie, but that's not all we're getting. We're getting to Buffy, who's 50, and 50's not old.
I'm 42. I'm not too far away from that. So
not old, but let's get things to a little bit younger now. Jamie, you did a review on Getting Dizzy, but I know you got some news on it.
Yeah, Getting Dizzy will actually be 4 issues. And aside from my previous review where, I talked about it, it wasn't me as a target audience, but as far as the rest of the issues go, since it is going to be 4 more issues, I'm definitely going to be reviewing all of them for you guys. It explains a lot to where my ratings came from on that one, because it did that. I don't know if you guys watched it or watched anything we do here, because we work together. But with my review, I was talking about how the writing felt so like they were throwing a lot at you in a certain amount, like in a brief amount of time. So I felt like this was going to be rushed. So I didn't realize that. I thought it was supposed to be like an ongoing series. I didn't realize it was going to be a short, like a mini series. I'm happy now, because now I understand that's going to be a mini series. Like I'll be reviewing all the issues now and make sure they get out to you guys. I'm excited for it. I mean, especially for young adults and teenagers that be into this kind of thing, it's a good place to start. Especially if, like Tim, like your daughter, this would be amazing for her.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and you and I even talked about that this would be a great series for either one of my kids to jump on.
Right. It has a good moral behind it, and it has a good message. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's that message that we try to live by every day. Is you want to be great at something, you go out there and find it.
That's right.
Yeah. So this is good. Like you said, only 4 issues, and then I know I didn't put this in the notes, but I found out that Eat the Rich will how I reviewed Eat the Rich number 4. Eat the Rich will have 5, and the 5th issue will be the final issue. So I'll make sure to review that too, because I enjoyed it, and hey, number 5 will be the end. So I'll definitely get on top of that.
Right on.
Awesome.
And that will conclude our Boom Studios news, our comic news, all our news from everybody else. And then now we get on to our works. All right, so guys, I've been really excited to tell you guys. So this thing, I've been working constantly on my show. The show I've mentioned a few times on the show, about a series.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever mentioned it. Now I think about it.
This might be the first time.
So
you're working on a show?
Yep, called A Series About a Series, based on my book of the same name. And it's almost done. So I have a trailer. The official trailer will be released tomorrow at 11 a.m. on YouTube. And at the end of the trailer, we'll tell you the official release date of the first episode. And I'll just tell you, it'll be later this month.
That's fantastic news.
You've been holding out on us, SK.
Yeah, I'm like, I have to save it for the show.
Okay, so I got to ask one thing, though. And it's a serious question. How much of our Code Z Morning podcast made it in?
In the trailer or in the show?
Either or.
So it's in the show. The trailer is pretty quick. It's gonna be in the trailer.
That should just been the trailer. It's just you standing there. Oh, stoically.
I'm sitting in a robe during that scene,
like every other
TV.
So
the infamous robe is in the show. My robe that you've seen in my promos,
and from the vaults.
It makes a series about
and Boom Studios. I love how you did that for the Boom Studios review. By the way, he's in the robe for the Boom Studios review. I was like, but dude,
it's in the show.
I gotta say,
trailers dropping
tomorrow 11 a.m.
Nice.
So I have it in the schedule.
We'll be sharing that on
schedule things. Yeah.
We'll be sharing that on all of our platforms. I will, if you can send me the link, we'll post it up on Codex as well. As soon as you
can. I will gladly send it. Yeah.
We'll post it up tomorrow as a 2:30 release in case no one saw it at 11. We'll do it again at 2:30.
Thanks,
bro. Like, I'm happy for you. I can't wait.
I
can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see all this hard work that you put in and see how your image of a show came out to actually, be. And
thank you.
I mean, now is there gonna, just to ask, is there gonna be more coming now after this episode, or is this something we're gonna sit on and hopefully something comes from it?
So I'm gonna see how it goes in the beginning, and then either try to pitch it to networks and see if it gets picked up, and if not, be like, okay, on my own, I'll do the other episode. So I really want to see how things go with this one, see how it takes off, and then definitely keep you guys updated on what else is going on. But yes, I definitely did use your you guys Code Z morning podcast show. So as soon as you guys hear it, you'll know it's you guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've been excited for this. I'm waiting for this to come out. Now that I know it's coming out tomorrow, that I'm on East Coast, so I'm an hour ahead. So that'll come out right when I clock out for lunch.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Now, just for the people that are listening right now, how long is the trailer? Is it? I know you said it was brief, but do you have an actual time?
I think it take like a minute 45 seconds.
It's not bad.
That's a good trailer.
Yeah.
Like that.
Not long.
That's
I
not
felt
stiff
I fit a lot
anymore.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Brother, I'm happy for you, proud of you.
Yeah.
You know, when we started talking about doing this show, and we started talking about this like around this time last year, actually, Sonny was literally working on a series about a series, and we were pushing everything off as much as we can, so that way he could get majority of it done, so that way we could start Codex podcast, and didn't know it was going to boom into Codex itself, being all these extra shows. But dude, I am proud of you. I'm happy it came a long way. And I can't wait to watch it.
Thank you guys. Yeah, and I can't wait for everybody to see it. I'm super pumped to share it with everyone. And I'm not the only one with some news. You guys have been working on a lot. Well, the Codex podcast is expanding. We got Breaking the Code. I'll let you guys take it away.
So with Breaking the Code, what that is that's a new segment that Jamie and I have started. And what it is we're taking one topic, no script, and just seeing where it goes from there. We got an episode coming out for you, and that's going to be top 5 heroes. And that was Jamie and I. Sonny, you weren't available for that one.
That released today.
I watched it today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Today. So yeah, that's out now for you guys to check out. And it's really cool. Jamie and I sit down and talk for a little over 30 minutes and have a great conversation about who we think our top 5 heroes are. Sonny, I believe you're coming in for the next one with top 5 villains.
I'm gonna try. I gotta see. I'm trying to wrap my brain around it.
Well,
I hope you can.
It's hard for me to pick up 5 favorites. I have many. One of my favorites.
Well, you could always do
one of my favorites.
Yeah, you could always do no particular order. You could just be like, these are the 5 that I read or whatever. But guys, Sonny, you're always included into the show. It's just Sonny's on that time constraint because it's a series about a series. Everyone's got to understand that. That's why you guys don't really see him on too many more shows. He's got other obligations he needs to take care of. That's why me and Tim can't take the reins and decided to do Breaking the Code. And also Breaking the Code is awesome because of the fact that we're going to be doing a lot of top 5 stuff, but we're also going to be taking a topic that we think is important at the time and kind of just going off and discussing and seeing what we're thinking.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Because there's a lot more out there coming from the comic book world. I mean, we already pitched ideas of what we want to do. And yeah, I'm more than excited for this. It's going to be great. I think Codex Gaming is going to be put on the back burner for a little bit as far as YouTube goes. As far as streaming, you guys will see a lot of that still coming to you guys. I think we're going to primarily use it as streaming until people start wanting it on YouTube too as a channel. Because views guys weren't really there for it. And hey, if you guys don't want it, I'm going to make sure we're still going to be doing it in some way, shape, or form. So keep an eye on Twitch, twitch.tv/Codex podcast, as you guys are already probably watching, for more streams of gaming. But as far as that goes, yeah, we're going to be switching that up with Breaking the Code. And I thought the first episode was pretty good.
It was great. We had a great time just sitting there talking about superheroes and why they were our favorites and things like that. And I love the aspect of Breaking the Code where it's just the one topic, no script, sit down for a half hour and have a conversation about it. I love doing stuff like that, just like what we're doing right here. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and I watched it, and as a viewer, so it was a nice surprise today to see it, and I watched it and I enjoyed it. So it was good.
Nice.
I liked you guys' picks, and Jamie, I knew you were a Jubilee fan. I always knew. I was like,
number one.
Finally, he admits that Jubilee is.
It's only because of the animated series. Only because of the animated series. But no, and well, we're gonna get Sonny into either his top 5s and in an order, or Sonny, if you want to do no particular order, that works too, as long as you got 5 heroes that are up there, or villains. That'll work out. We'll throw you in there. We want Sonny as included as possible. So if we ever jump on and say, hey guys, these are Sonny's picks as well, you guys know that he's still there, but not.
But yeah, I'll be releasing from the votes.
Yeah, he'll be
calls when I get him.
He'll be doing from the vaults and mail calls. He'll be too busy when he hits stardom, and it'll just be, Jamie
No
and
way.
the Codex podcast.
But I won't leave the
It's-
Codex podcast though. I'm sticking here. You still gotta deal with me for a bit longer.
Oh, a bit. So we got a time frame, like episode 30, you're done. No.
Who knows?
Until he
No.
becomes a super famous writer / director / actor, and not the other way around.
He's Mark
And I'll make
Spector.
sure to tell them, because I know, hey, being on sets, there's a lot of waiting. Then I'd say you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer because I have a podcast to do. So okay, bye guys. It's time for me to shoot.
Yeah. Guys, we got to cramp this in now because I got to shoot in like 20 minutes. So-
No, let's do it.
I can tell people to wait. Trust me, there's
We'll just
There's a bunch
Photoshop
of
your
waiting
face
on
in
set,
like into a screen bubble somewhere and just leave you there. Like I'll take one of those faces that I usually screenshot you guys when I pause and just
or
put
you wanna,
that
like,
in the entire time. We're like one of those. So yeah.
I do gotta say, you picked the perfect picture for my Boom Studio for my Boom Thursday review. I liked how
Oh,
with the
the
hands. I said, I'm like perfect picture.
yeah. I was like, dude, like okay. For those who don't know and don't create, I can make thumbnails, but when I see the perfect opportunity to use a picture, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, that was the perfect.
And with Sonny's, I was like, Sonny would love this. And that went through my
Yes.
head. But yeah, like I said, Breaking the Code's coming out, and
Yep.
also we do have a little bit more news with Boom Thursdays as well. We do have a review coming out tomorrow, guys. So we didn't miss anything. Me and Tim did a review on Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, and they're two separate titles. So keep a lookout for that, guys. If this is not on your pull list, please make it part of it.
Oh yeah.
Tim will tell you till he's blue in the face, but I want Tim to talk because he usually talks bad about things. And if he says one thing bad about Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin, I'm gonna lose it. So
Reading that series, I have nothing bad to ever say about Power Rangers.
no, and Sonny, like that's something that I think get the trade, dude.
Oh yeah.
Get the full collection and when it's ready, but get a trade and just try it.
And it is the recent one, the Alterian War, or was it something else?
The Altarian War. No,
Yeah, that's
right.
issue
Yeah.
13. That's the one we're working on. That's a crossover. Well, kind of
Yeah.
it entwines, but we
Yeah,
didn't realize.
both issues start that.
Yes. And we didn't realize that there was parts throughout the whole series so far that mixed. And
Yep.
that bothered me so much that I didn't read Power Rangers to see what it was. And then Tim had to tell me. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
you're kidding me, right? That
No, I'm
happened.
not.
That's why this character's not here. What's going on? So watch out for that for Boom Thursdays, guys. And yeah, I mean, Sonny, anything else, bud?
I was going to talk about Decoding Panels. Lately we haven't mentioned it in a while, but you guys have been putting some out. Even the other day, I was watching your Spawn Batman crossover. It looked like a lot of work, Jamie, but it was nice to read it because that's the comic I wasn't familiar with, and to see Batman and Spawn, trading blows and everything. And yeah, guys, we get a lot of Decoding Panels out.
And we have a lot more plugged away,
Oh,
so it's just never gonna stop for me, unfortunately. So we'll just take it as it goes.
We've
Any
got
episode you guys are excited for?
Well, I know you're gonna be excited because right now we're working on Circle of Blood. It's official,
yeah.
guys. Great.
Yeah, that's the mini series that I'm working on right now is Circle of Blood. The first issue I'm sold on, but Jamie's convinced me that the second issue and the remainder of them are total crap. So I'm just not going to do the rest.
No.
Sonny would be like,
No.
no, I'm excited. We have Dark Knights of Steel.
Yes.
That's gonna be one of the ones as what do you call it?
New
as
series
a new
right
series, current comic that's coming out. We do have Dark Ages. We're still working on that, and then but Dark Knights of Steel is the one I'm actually really excited for because when I said in the podcast when we talked about that book coming out that it would have a Game of Thrones feel, it's Game of Thrones but DC.
Holy smokes. If nobody's reading Dark Knights of Steel, that's a book that needs to go in your pull list too. It's a 12-issue series, and I was sold a couple of pages in, guys, and doing the Decoding Panels episode for it made it even cooler for me. So yeah, that's a series I'm totally invested in.
Sonny, you love Game of Thrones. I know you do.
Yep.
Definitely check out the book because it is Game of Thrones, but with DC. It 100%. Like you would literally, you're gonna read the issue and be like, they literally took Game of Thrones and just put it in DC. What's going on here? But it's so good.
Good. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to also watch the Decoding Panels episode of it too.
Yeah, and there's a lot goes into it, guys. Like you guys hear me say all the time, I'm editing. Is usually those that take priority of time. The podcast takes a good amount of time too. That's why it's up on the weekends. But with everything that we're putting out, like I literally made a schedule for me. So if I miss it by a minute, something's not going on. I'm gonna be very upset with myself.
Well, we appreciate it. We enjoy it. I always enjoy watching all the episodes and everything. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, do you guys know what's next?
It's obviously not. It's the topic of the week. I'm looking at the thing right now.
Nope. Do you know?
Oh, I thought you were like, that was your script of you saying, do you know? And then, do you know it's topic of the week time? And that was what, okay, let's do it.
Do you know it's time for do you know?
Yeah, do you know? So, guys, I'm going to let you guys know right now. First? The schedule is the way you wrote it. It's Tim starts. Just to let everyone know, though, I did pick mine based off of Venom since we're doing Edge of Venomverse today. So all my questions are Venom related.
Mine are all based off of things that happened or characters in Edge of Venomverse. So
mine are some of the news, some of Venom. What we're talking about, a little bit of everything that we're going over for the show today.
Okay.
And a little bit of Boy Meets World.
Oh, right on.
Topanga.
Me and my kids were talking
Not
about
right
that.
Now.
Topanga got venomized.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Feeney.
Okay. So with do you know, the tally is so far, Jamie's got one victory. Sonny, you've got another. I have a big fat 0. As far as points go, Jamie and Sonny, you're both tied at 3, and I only have 1 point. So with all that being said, I'm going to win today because every answer I give will be correct and not incorrect. But
we'll see. I pulled at you this week, bro.
But like I said, all my stuff had to do with Edge of Venomverse. So if you did your homework and you read your comics the way you were supposed to before you brushed your teeth and went to bed, you'll know the answers. So
I read it like 3 years ago. I still remember it. I still remember everything.
There you go. Here is my first question, and this one's a no-brainer. This one's pretty obvious. Venom, Edge of Venomverse. So that's what the question is about. What is the first appearance of Venom?
What kind? Like just the character or
in what form?
Venom in Venom form. What is the first appearance of Venom, the character?
Wasn't it Spider-Man 300?
So I was the Amazing Spider-Man number 300, but he had a cameo on 299.
Cameo doesn't count. First full.
Okay. I said
300.
The Amazing Spider-Man 300.
Okay. See, that's an easy one. You both got that right. Amazing Spider-Man number 300 is the first full appearance of Venom. In 299, he had the one panel cameo.
Cameo still count.
As a cameo, not a first appearance. Well, I'll die on that hill. But Amazing Spider-Man number 300 came out in May 1988. So there you go. Point for both.
Yay. All right, SK, you're up.
Okay. One of the characters we talked about today was Crypto. And I'm not going to give what issue. I will just say, what year did Crypto make his first appearance?
83.
I'm going to say it was sometime in the 60s. I'm going to shoot for 66.
Tim, you are 11 years off. It is 1955 was the first appearance of Crypto in Adventure Comics number 210.
I was close.
Yeah, Crypto. I was surprised how he's been around a long time. Jamie, your turn.
Okay, so we were talking about first appearances of Venom. So we all know Venom has been a major villain to Spider-Man for years. But do you know which video game had his first appearance in? Or that he had his first appearance in?
Would that be Maximum Carnage?
I should say a game called The Amazing Spider-Man.
Both of you are wrong. He is actually one of the villains in Spider-Man versus Kingpin for the Sega Genesis.
Holy smokes. That came into my brain like right after I said Maximum Carnage. Darn it.
I do remember playing that game too. And when I was looking up the do you know for my do you know questions, I was like, oh my God, like because I remember my favorite one was the PlayStation one, like every time, and that's what I thought it was. And I was like, wait a minute, wasn't it something different? And then when I looked at it, I was like, makes sense.
That's okay. Right on.
And it was something old. I was thinking similar to Sega Genesis, but I didn't even know there was Spider-Man versus Kingpin game, that it was called Spider-Man versus Kingpin.
Yep, I remember that. That was the first Genesis game with Spider-Man, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right on. Okay, my number 2. So the first issue of Edge of Venomverse had to deal with X-23. So again, first appearance. Sonny, I hope you get this one right. What is the first appearance of X-23?
NYX 3.
I'm gonna say NYX3.
You guys are on fire today. NYX number 3, absolutely correct.
You're welcome, Sonny.
In February of 2004.
Did you see the confidence in my face?
Issue.
I was, as soon as he said, I was like, I know it.
But I'm gonna get you guys on the third one. So okay, number 2.
Hey, for me,
yeah,
we talked about Luke Cage. What is the first appearance of Luke Cage?
That would be Luke Cage, Hero for Hire number 1.
Yeah, it was Heroes for Hire.
No, I think the title is Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, right?
I'm just going Heroes for Hire.
Okay, gotcha.
So should we count them as different or the same? Hero for Hire or Heroes?
I don't remember, I can't think off the top of my head if it said Luke Cage or not. That's why I just said Heroes for Hire.
It does say it says Hero for Hire number 1.
All right. Well, you give it to Tim on that one because I said plural.
So Luke Cage, Hero for Hire number 1.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, good deal.
All right. So my turn for the question, boys. This one's a doozy. Okay. So we know What If came out with a What If Venom possessed Deadpool. But do you know that there was a series that told the story of Spider-Man rejecting the symbiote and the symbiote using Deadpool as its host as a 5-issue series? What's the name of that series?
Mr. Fiend. No.
What if Deadpool had the Venom symbiote issues -1 through 2?
Venom, Deadpool. That's what I'll say.
I have no idea.
It's actually called Deadpool Back in Black.
Oh,
because there was a Deadpool series based on Secret War. It was Deadpool Secret Wars. If either of you guys remember that, and he had the Venom symbiote suit for a little bit. So this was like a telling of it being like it plays in so well with the main story because when he finally gets rid of it, it just lands on Eddie Brock. It's perfect. But yeah, it's a very, very, very good story. So if you guys check that out, 5 issues.
So no points.
None.
Yeah, no points for that one.
Told you I'm pulling all the stops on you, Tim.
God almighty, I got 1 point so far today. Okay, are we ready for number 3?
No.
Okay, this
Maybe.
one I think is going to be a little tougher. But Jamie, I have high confidence that you may get this. So, second issue of Edge of Venomverse, Gwenpool. What is Gwenpool's first appearance?
Gwenpool number 1.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's
I have faith in you, Jamie.
Spider-Verse number. No, that's Spider-Gwen. Deadpool Corp.
Okay, you are both wrong.
Okay.
It is Deadpool's Secret Wars number 2, came out in June of 2015.
That's the series I was talking about.
Just a second ago.
And dude, I was thinking about it because of the fact that, like, I don't know why I just thought it was into the Spider-Verse, but then I was like, that's Spider-Gwen.
So you're half right. It's
and
one of the Gwens.
And then that threw me off from the Secret Wars thing we were talking about.
So yeah, Deadpool's Secret Wars number 2 is first appearance of Gwenpool.
All right, so now I will bring us to Venom. Like I said, we were talking about Venom, Venomverse. So this goes to Spider-Man, the animated series in the 90s. Which known actor / voice actor voiced the role of Venom?
Hey, Sonny, real fast. I'm gonna let you know that's my number 3 too.
The voice actor.
Yep.
So what should we do for this?
So I'll throw. I'll make up a new one.
I have an alternate. I always have something in case I have an alternate question.
That's what I always do too. But that was funny. I was waiting for this day.
So the day has come. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So shall we do our alternate questions?
You could do. Yeah, we could do. Yeah, we do alternate questions. Go ahead.
Okay. So we were just about to. Okay. Well, Tim, for anybody listening, we were about to mention it was the actor Hank Azaria.
That is not who I had in my mind.
It's from The Simpsons
at all.
Yeah, from The Simpsons, Friends, Ray Donovan. He's been in a lot.
I was thinking of the guy that did the voice of Spawn.
Yeah, so
I can't remember his name.
Okay, now we'll go to our alternate questions. And my alternate question, this is back. Came up with this around our Halloween episode. Is what is the first appearance of Blackheart?
Go ahead, Tim.
That's got to be in a Dare.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost Tim.
Yep. Okay, Tim, we lost you for a moment. What were you saying?
Oh, am I here now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Now we hear you good.
Okay. I was gonna say that's got to be in a Daredevil issue. So I'm gonna shoot for the stars and say Daredevil 251.
I'm gonna do what I normally do and just say Ghost Rider because that sounds right to me, and I'll say Ghost Rider number 5.
So it is Daredevil 270.
Ah!
So Tim, I should say you can get a half point because he's still said
okay.
Daredevil. And actually,
I knew it was because the whole Mephisto storyline that was going on in Daredevil that JR was doing the artwork for, and that's immediately what I thought of.
And actually, with my last From the Vault, when I did the Daredevil, I mentioned 270 Blackheart appears in there. So that was the first. Okay, so the first appearance of Blackheart.
I
Daredevil
watch them.
270.
I have to edit them. I just chose not to remember that information.
Yeah, I didn't think it would come up this fast. Yeah.
No.
All right. So
I still can't get over that we had the same question.
Yeah. Give me your alternate question.
So my alternate question is gonna be based on Red Hood then. This comes from a couple weeks ago that I had, so bear with me to actually get this back up real fast.
No problem. I brought us back to Halloween, so
yeah, no, it's fine. So we all know that Red Hood is great with guns. We all know that he can take it out, but do you know what are Red Hood's blades named?
1 and 2. I have no idea.
The Silent Killers.
They're actually called the all cast blades. For anybody that doesn't know, he had another. We talked about this before, Sonny, because I had that little mess up when it was what year was he was missing from, and I talked about the Lost Days. So in Lost Days, you find out what he was doing the whole time when he wasn't with Batman. After he came back from Lazarus Pit, but he gets blades called the all cast blades, and he does use those a lot in continuity. So
okay, so it is a tie today. Jamie and Sonny, both of you tied with 2 points. I made it with 1.5. So again, I'm trailing behind in each of you, so it's a tie. So yeah, 1 victory each and then a tie each. So
yeah, it's great. Like I'm still can't get over as soon as you said, do you know, for the 90s, I was like, please don't say voice actor. And then you're like, who voice? And I was like,
well, thank you for being honest, because you really could have
I could have taken it and been like, this is my
the answer
and then switched it.
Your alternate question.
But I wasn't gonna do that. That wouldn't have been fair to anybody.
For being honest, and yeah, I
win this week for being honest.
Get ready. I need to be ready now.
I gotta get an extra point this week.
Alternate. I need to do a new alternate question.
Yeah. Oh God. Extra point for Jamie for being so honest and great.
Yeah.
So going on now, obviously we talked about our works. We did Do You Know, which turned out to be amazing, and Tim lost again. At least I tied. I guess that's a plus.
Yeah, we tied. Yeah.
My comic knowledge is not as great as I thought it was.
Sonny, you want to lead us into the topic of the week, which was actually the topic of last week, but we moved it to this week too.
Yeah, so since this was planned for before Thanksgiving, topic of the week is, with Thanksgiving coming up, what comic book are you most thankful for and why? And as usual, Jamie, have our top 3 comments in no particular order.
All right, first off, we have Joe Mazden. Going a bit of a different direction here. I'm most thankful for the Epic collection. So this one, I thought of you, Sonny. Gives me a chance to collect and reread stories from the younger days and at a reasonable price, and allows me to enjoy the genre without dealing too much with the horrible garbage that passes for current runs of ongoing titles. We have Darcy Cheney Jr. He comes with Hellblazer, Swamp Thing, and Sandman because they gave me something to relate to. They showed me it's not about the capes and crime fighters. And then we got Keith Butler, and he said all of them that brought me joy, but the trade paperbacks of Watchmen, Squadron Supreme, and Kingdom Come, or my Conan collection are the best. So again, thank you guys for those answers. Thank you guys for those, everybody who answered. So Sonny, I know you had you were talking in the pre-show a little bit about you had a Marvel and a DC that you were thankful for.
So, there was a time, like I said, as a kid, sometimes I would get comics in the periods where I would kind of focus on other things. And I was about 22 years old. I started watching Smallville. I'm like, I need to get into comics again. I'm like, let me check them out and see if I get into reading them again. So I said, I'm going to pick one Marvel and one DC. And so I loved both comics that I read from Marvel and DC, and that continued on. And they got me now I was in my 20s. Now I'm in my 30s. It's gotten me much more into comic books. I love comic books. I read more comic books now than I've ever read in my life. And I'm like, if those 2 that I picked out didn't catch my interest, who knows what would have happened if I would have just been like, okay, I'm not into comics anymore. Mm-hmm. But they got me interested. So I love them, and my comic collecting continues. So my Marvel comic is Infinity Gauntlet. And so especially when Avengers Infinity War.
Oh, yep, there they are.
Yeah, when Infinity War came out, I was definitely excited to have it. So Infinity Gauntlet was my Marvel comic. And for DC is the Justice League of America, The Nail.
I've been talking about doing that for a Decoding Panels episode.
That is one, I really like I said, almost one of those, a what if story. And even The Nail inspired a little part of Dead 3. Yeah, bring it back to my books real quick.
Of course.
When I was coming up with ideas, The Nail, is a what if. What if Martha and Jonathan Kent didn't go out because they got a nail in their truck. And then so I actually made 2 chapters in the book of what if. And it started from reading The Nail. But yeah, Infinity Gauntlet and The Nail, they grabbed my attention. They got me back into comic books. Like I said, I'm huge into comic books now, more than I've ever been in my life. And I really think it's to those 2.
That's awesome.
So those are my 2 picks.
Those are top of the week. Those are some what do you call it? Higher up picks there, Sonny. Those are some good ones, brother.
High tier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Tim, we'll leave it with you, bud.
Well, the 2 that I am most thankful for would be Amazing Spider-Man number 351 and Chrome number 1. So we'll go with the easy one first. Amazing Spider-Man number 351. That was the first comic book I ever paid for with my own money. We all know that that's where Mark Bagley came in as the official penciler for Spider-Man, and that started a major process that is continuing to this day with reading Spider-Man and getting into Spider-Man and comic books in general. I have not that issue that I bought, but a graded version of 351, graded 9.8. I have that sitting over there on my bookshelf. So I'm thankful for that, because when I went into that ice cream shop and on the spinner rack, there was ASM 351. That was the first one that I grabbed and paid for. But with Chrome number 1, so if nobody knows, Chrome is a 3-issue series that was canceled after the 3rd issue, and it came from a company called Hot Comics back in the 80s. Kelly Jones, who is famous for a lot of his Batman work, this is one of his early titles that he worked on. I fell in love with this when I read it, and I got it in a collection of comic books that my mom bought for me at a yard sale when I was really little. So this Chrome number 1 was one of the issues that got me into comic books. And I still have that sitting over here in my collection right now. I have all 3 issues, read all 3, and I would love to just hear the ideas that they had planned for the series, but I don't think I ever will. But yeah, Amazing Spider-Man number 351 and Chrome number 1. Those are the 2 that I'm most thankful for. Jamie?
Real quick, Spider-Man number 351, what issue is that? Like, or who is Spider-Man's villain?
It's issue 351.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The Tri-Sentinel is on there. Bagley was doing work for New Warriors, so when he came in to take over for Spider-Man, Nova makes a 2-issue appearance, so he's a supporting character in that. Yeah, it's big yellow background, Tri-Sentinel's reaching out for him and Spider-Man swinging away, Nova's bouncing around. Really cool cover.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Jamie, now I'll let you take it away.
Oh, okay. So I have my 2. I have a DC and a Marvel. The DC one, I had to think back. Like, I was racking my brain because for anyone that's seen most of the episodes, if you guys caught our uncensored episode with Keith, his dad actually gave me this issue, and it was the first issue I ever got of a Green Lantern comic. And it means a lot to me because of the fact that it's from the series that we just did 2 weeks ago with the first appearance of Kyle Rayner. So it's issue 25 of Green Lantern, and it is literally the best fight I've ever seen in comics. It is Hal Jordan versus Guy Gardner.
Ooh,
nice. I gotta check that one out.
And it's literally like, because it just hit all points again. Like, it was perfect for me. Guy Gardner's tired of being with Justice League International. He thinks he should be in the Justice League. Hal is doing his own thing. He's mad at Hal for doing his own thing and not being part of the Justice League. Finally, he gets tired and hot-headed like Guy Gardner does and goes after him. And Hal looks at him and goes, "All right, we're going to do this." Rings off.
Nice.
And they literally take off the rings, and like the Justice League is standing around them, like watching them just beat the crap out of each other. And I was like, this, like, Batman is just like, Oops, did you see him just throw your Superman punch? Like, so yeah, that one's one I'm thankful for because it really brought me into the Green Lantern realm, and it also really it basically started the Green Lantern for me. And then it opened my eyes to the Corp itself. So thanks for starting this, Big Keith, if you're listening. So for Marvel, actually, there was a little bit of a hiatus. I did read a lot of Green Lantern because that was my thing. But when I started getting back into comics I ordered from 1998, started the Captain America series. So I ordered Captain America because I wanted to get more into Cap, because I believe that's around the time that Captain America was coming out with the MCU, like big. And it was either that or it was announced. So one of the two. But the 1998 series is 50 issues. I ordered all 50. And guys, it literally takes place after all the heroes go missing. They come back. He doesn't have his shield no more. He uses his old shield, and he also uses a holographic shield. But it has
like the old Battlestar shield.
That's the one he uses, and then he gets a holographic shield where he can still throw. It's got density. It hits everybody. It can block bullets, but once he puts it away, it goes into like his arm.
Interesting.
So it's a great series, great story. Bucky's in it. Winter Soldier is part of it. Talks about it pretty much goes into the death of a character as well. So that ties into it. But that first issue, it had me hooked. So thank you guys for the thanks Cap for that, because now I'm, almost 7,000 issues in.
Here we are doing a podcast,
Yeah.
All started with some comic books.
Right.
That's right.
That's all it started with.
Well, that was a fun topic of the week. And hey, anybody watching, feel free to comment and let us know, what a comic or comics that you're most grateful for.
Yeah, definitely.
And then in a few days, drop it below, like Jamie said. And in a few days, we'll be posting online our next topic of the week that we'll go over next week in episode 25.
Big episode.
Oh, yeah. Now we move to the review of Edge of Venomverse. Okay, Jamie, you were the one you picked this out for us to read.
Yes, I did.
A while ago. Okay, so Edge of Venomverse is basically leading to Venomverse. And issue number 1 starts with X-23. We see she's being chased, and she accidentally frees a symbiote suit or symbiote, which takes over X-23. Obviously, she does some damage. Then we meet some teenagers, and they meet her in like an abandoned building, and they're all kind of scared, so they go away. But later, she helps them out. They get into some trouble. She helps them out, along with the Venom. A venomized X-23 helps them out, and she basically joins the group. But then they all get a bit venomized, and symbiotes take over all of them. And then eventually, X-23, who was venomized, is taken away into some kind of portal, and where she meets a venomized Captain America, telling her to join in a big fight that's going to come up, a big war that's going to come up. And then we go on to issue 2, which is focusing on Gwenpool. And Tim, I'll let you continue on.
Each issue of Edge of Venomverse has to do with a specific character. Sonny, you said X-23 is the first, Gwenpool is the second, and then you go on to Old Man Logan, Ghost Rider, and I can't remember the other one.
Deadpool.
Can't
forget Deadpool. Come on.
Yeah. But so Gwenpool, well, see, this is the one that I enjoyed the most, and it has to do with her being venomized, and the scene where she comes in, you got these 2 guys that are standing there getting ready to do this nefarious drug deal. And she just comes trucking up. She's like, "Hello, fellow drug dealers. My name is Gwenpool. Are we here to do a drug deal tonight?" And the guys are like, "What in the heck is this? What's going on?" Right. And then the next panel is just her getting riddled with bullets. And I love the breaking of the fourth wall with her. This is the first real issue I've ever read that had Gwenpool in it in any way, shape, or form. So I really enjoyed that. That one was a super favorite of mine. Issue 3, I do believe, was Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, right? Yep. The Robert Reyes Ghost Rider. And in that one, they're focusing on taking Mr. Hyde. He's being transferred, and everybody's trying to go at him. We got Ford. You have this crazy ape Deadpool that had a super long name. I'm not going to try to pronounce it.
Octo Sasquatch Pool.
There you go. It might be right. Is that right? Yeah.
That should have been one of the "Do you know" questions.
Yeah. How do you spell it? Yeah.
Lots of letters.
Yeah. But then, but eventually one of the people or beings after Mr. Hyde is Ghost Rider, the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, who has already been venomized, and he's joining everybody. And again, each issue pretty much ends with the characters being taken into a portal and being led to the venomized Captain America. And then after that, we have the Old Man Logan, and he's taken hostage. Archangel gets him, Bruce Banner Jr., who from Prince Raised, they take Logan hostage, and then they have a T-Rex try to get him, but again, venomized, takes over, and then again leads to meeting the Captain America venomized. Also, we go to Deadpool. Pretty much the same thing. Deadpool was dealing with this issue. Pretty much everything was leading towards a character, like you said, would focus on a character. They're venomized or they get venomized, and then they eventually meet the venomized Captain America, and finally ended with the war stories, which showed Doctor Doom, showed Doctor Strange. Yeah, the Punisher. I really liked the Punisher. I thought looked really cool. Yeah. Even till there's a what if, the Punisher was venomized, and so we got to see that in this. But again, everybody eventually leads to. It's basically a story that's leading you to
Venomverse. Yeah.
So for me, it was fine to read. I was more wondering. I was like, I wonder why we didn't pick Venomverse itself, since this is more leading to Venomverse. It's Edge of Venomverse, and some of the artwork I was fine with. Some of the stuff I was like, okay, like Gwenpool was kind of iffy for me. At points, it was like they have action. But at points, I was like, okay, this seems more like it's very geared towards a young girl. I'm like, I get it. I get the appeal, but surprise, surprise, I'm not a young girl. So,
well, now we got to change our whole dynamic of the show.
Yeah. So that one, I was kind of like, regular. Same with X-23. But for me, it was a lot of okay parts. When it comes to Old Man Logan, I like Old Man Logan, but I really don't like. The one thing I really didn't ever like about Old Man Logan was how they made it his character. They kill most of the X-Men. One thing I can't stand is when characters that have been well established just get wiped out like nothing. Like it really brings the character down. But like I said, we get Deadpool, we get the Punisher part, and to me, I say Venomverse was an okay read, a little bit better than okay. So I won't get a 5, but I will say like this isn't one that I'm going to be like, oh, everybody needs to read it. I'm interested to read Venomverse, but for Edge of Venomverse, I say it's an okay read. If you want to read it, I wouldn't advise against it, but I wouldn't say you need to read it. I give Edge of Venomverse a 6 out of 10.
Wow, it's not a 10.
That is now the official lowest score we've had.
Tim gave what was the monster one for Halloween? A 5.
Oh, lead.
Yeah,
Marvel
never mind.
Premiere, number 28.
I was just surprised you went lower than Punisher Circle of Blood.
But my lowest,
it's your lowest. Wow.
Yeah, so
6.
still okay. 6
okay.
out of 10
okay. 6. I was waiting for an 8, but 6 is fine. I expected at least a 7, but hey, we were in the ballpark. Tim?
Okay, so the big takeaways with this for me, Doom Venom in War Stories, that was amazing to see. I am very excited to that right there was the deal breaker for me to read Venomverse. I was like, okay, I want to see Doom Venom, that I want to see more of that. But Gwenpool was the standout issue for me. This has a high amount of violence, way more than I thought Marvel would allow. So this is more than is common in a Marvel title. That surprised me and kept me reading. Now, as far as everything else goes, I went in under the impression that it was a full story, which it is and it isn't. You have the overarching thing of the Venomized Captain America coming in at the end, grabbing each character. And this is what leads into Venomverse. And each character gets its own individual story, which I thought was pretty cool, but also a little disappointing because I wanted to see a full story, but I guess we are going to get that in Venomverse, which is what I'm going to read after this. So as far as writing goes, if I took the time to grade each issue, we'd be sitting here for another hour. So overall,
yeah, we don't want that.
Right. So overall, for the 5 issues, the writing, because each issue was done by a different creative team, the writing gets an 8 from me. It was solid. It was good enough. Their established characters were established enough, but that's kind of where it ends. And you get to see some really different, unique things in the multiverse for Marvel. And I dig that. Overall, for artwork, this is a really low 8 for me. So like an 8, borderline 7.9. And the only reason for that is I think the best part of the series was the artwork in Gwenpool, and everybody else kind of suffered from that, with the exception of the artwork in War Stories for Dr. Doom. So I really had to struggle with giving it an 8, but I had to judge it overall and not based on individuals. So overall, solid 8. So writing 8, artwork 8 for me. Gwenpool being the standout, and the Dr. Doom short story in War Stories also being the standout for me.
Nice to see total different opinions on that. So real fast, I just want to say that I did give this to you guys for a reason, and the reason is that if you did not like this, you will like the rest of the story probably, but you would understand more that's happening in Venomverse and in Venomized, because Sonny, once we get to Venomized, it's a crossover with the X-Men.
Yeah.
So there's a whole thing going on. It crosses over with X-Men Blue, I believe. But it's, to me, like having a whole story, having 5 different, I thought it was a cool concept. And that's why I kind of threw this out there, because it's different. You have a different creative team on each book. Mm-hmm. You have a different outlook on the character. It leads into Venomverse so well that those end basic scenes, like with, Cap coming in and taking them, fully explained why and what's going on. So that's why I gave it to you guys. I liked it. I didn't love it, but when you get into Venomverse and Venomized, you'll love it because of the reason that you read this. That's why I picked this one for you guys. But if I had to give this a grade, you guys pretty much hit all the main points on it. If I had to give it a grade, I'd give it at least an 8.2. And that's what I was sticking with. Because of the fact that once you guys read, if you guys do, I don't know if Sonny is now because of the score.
I'd say it was fine. It was fine to lead up. It was okay. It makes me want to read Venom.
Yeah. So once you guys read Venomverse and Venomized, you'll go back to Edge of Venomverse and probably bump that up a little bit.
Right on.
So yeah, that was my favorite. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, a little things a little bit different today. Whereas Jamie gives Edge of Venomverse 8.2, Tim gives Edge of Venomverse 8.0, and I give it a 6.0.
You're just mad at me for Punisher Circle.
No.
You were waiting. You're like, I'm gonna get this one.
For this one, I always want to enjoy. I always want to love comic books.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If I give 10 out of 10s every week, I'm more than fine with it. But yeah, for this one, I guess maybe I wanted like a bigger ending, and it all felt very like I said, a lead up. Maybe if I read with it Venomverse itself, it might seem better.
Yeah.
But for just alone Edge of Venomverse alone, I was like, oh, it's okay. But not I don't want to say 5 because I'm like, it's better than that. But I didn't want to say, oh, it's so good because I didn't feel like, oh, I was so interested in it. So I would say that I'm like, okay, a little bit better than okay. It's 6.
Yeah, no, and I respect on that score, dude. Like 100%. Like you're taking it from a perspective of never reading them. You're taking it from a different idea. And with me reading them, that's why my score is a little bit higher than both years. So if you get the chance to check out Venomverse and Venomized, and then come back to it and just tell us. Well, your score will stay the same no matter what. But just give us what you thought overall if you get a chance to read the other ones.
See, I always like hearing when a book makes you change from a 10 down to something else, especially as low as a 6, because then, I want to know why. Well, why didn't Sonny think this was really awesome? Now it's a 6. Okay, tell it to me. And I dig that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So there we go. There is our review of Edge of Venomverse. Maybe, like I said, maybe in the future we'll come back. We'll talk more about it. But for now, we move on to the next pick. Jamie, I didn't even ask you if you read it.
No, you didn't. But we'll still do it anyways.
I'm sure you have. I don't think you read this one. So my next pick for you is The Incredible Hulk, Future Imperfect.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. How many issues is that?
It is 2 issues, but they're 2 longer issues each.
Yeah.
They're like double-sized issues. Like 2 double-sized issues each. That one I don't think will take you very long.
Yeah, those shouldn't. We could probably do it by next week.
If you're ready, just let me know and we go.
Yeah, I'll have
next week if we do Future Imperfect or if we do a single issue.
Yeah, we'll do Future Imperfect, and then after that, it is Tim's choice for what we are going to read.
Good, yeah.
I got 2 weeks to figure it out. Right on. I'll pick something good.
You might have only a week.
Only a week. Okay.
We're not taking off next week. No more taking off.
Next week, episode 25.
Yeah, next week's episode 25. So it's gonna be big. Might as well have the reviews ready, and then Tim make his pick, and we'll think of something to do for 25, guys. Like that's another milestone because we've actually made it a quarter of a way to 100.
Yeah.
So
we're making our way.
We 25. Our car insurance can go down, and we can rent the car. So
I mean, get all those calls. Your extended warranty.
Yeah. So
with that, everyone, I say we can call it episode. It was a great one. Great to be back. Looking forward to next week, episode 25. Like I said, maybe we will review The Incredible Hulk, Future Imperfect. We'll do more Do You Know? Obviously, we'll have our topic of the week posted soon, within a few days. And obviously, there will definitely be more comic news to go over. So, the Codex Podcast. I'm your host, Sonny Kruger. Take care.
And as always, guys, just to make sure, comment, like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss any more content that's going to be coming your way. I can't wait for next week, guys. Take it easy.
See ya.